This video will show you how to import data from Excel into JMP so that you're ready to analyze it. So the data set that I have here is paper airplane data that was collected in Stat 100, and I want to get it into JMP so that I'm ready to use it. So there's two methods that I could take, two approaches. One would be to import the data set, and the other would be to copy and paste the data into Excel. So first I'm going to show you how to import the data set. This data set is called Combined Airplane Data Cleaned. It's an Excel file. So if I go over to JMP, if I want to import the data set, I have to find that Excel file on my computer and tell JMP how to read it in. So I'm going to go to File and then Open. Now from here, I have my data set saved on my desktop. So here's my Excel file on my desktop. I'm going to select that file and click Open. Now this import window gives me a little preview of what the data set will look like once it is opened in JMP. So I can see all of my variable names are up in the top gray bar in the correct place. And then I can see that everything looks like it should when I read it in. So if that's how your data set looks, then you're kind of ready to go. And then you can just click the import button at the bottom right corner. And there is my data table ready to go in JMP. And the first thing you want to check when you get your data into JMP, first that just when you look at it visually, everything looks okay over here with my columns being the variables and my rows being the cases. And the other thing is over on this left-hand panel, I can see the names of my variables. I see team, trial, paperclip, and distance. And the little indicators show me if it's numeric or categorical. So you want to make sure that these are set correctly. I can see that team, trial, and distance are all numeric variables. That's what the blue triangle tells me. And paperclip is a categorical variable, and so that is the red bars. If those are not set correctly, I'll have a different video to show you how to change the variable types in JMP. But a big hint is that if they're not set correctly, you might have a typo somewhere in your data that you need to check. Okay, so that's one way that I could import the data just by finding and opening the Excel file from JMP. And then the other way that we've seen in class is if we would just want to paste data from somewhere else. So let me open a new data table. There's a button right under File that I can click on to just automatically create a new data table. And so here's a data table where I might want to paste my data. So let me go back to Excel. And then what I need to do here is select all of my data, including the column names. So Control Copy. If you are on a PC, I can see that I've highlighted everything and it's been copied. And now I'm going to go over to JMP. And what you have to remember here is that you can't just paste your data, because if I paste it, my column names are not going to show up in that gray bar like they're supposed to. Instead, I have to go to Edit and then Paste with Column Names. So I'm going to click that, and then my data shows up with my column names appropriately shown up in the gray bar. And same thing, I check my variable types to make sure everything looks correct. So now my data is in JMP and I'm ready to analyze it. Now the other big thing that I want you to know you can do is save your JMP data table so that every time you open your project data, you don't have to go through this process of importing it again. So now I have my data in JMP and I want to save it as a JMP data table so that anytime I open the file, it's going to open straight into JMP. So I'm just going to go to File, Save As, and now I can call this maybe Airplane JMP data. Still going to save on my desktop. And the key is I can see that this is now a JMP data table with the .jmp extension. So I'm going to hit Save. And now it's saved as a JMP data table. So let's say that I close my Excel file. I'm going to close JMP and exit JMP. And on my desktop, I now have this JMP file, airplane JMP data. And if I open it, I will see that it's going to open directly into JMP instead of having to go back through Excel and import anything. So there's my data table ready to analyze.